guys ready? It's time. It's 10:30. It's time to get started. Welcome, everyone. It is good to have you here. It is good to be here with the time zone switch. I'm glad I'm here on time. Wasn't sure. And I'm Ron. We're going to get started with a warm-up. So here's what we got. We got warm-ups, an extended warm-up. Then we're going to go to strength. And I got floor, but I got a ton of floor stuff, and we're never going to get it all in. So I'm going to finish it up on Thursday. Will be the way I do it. All right, wide squats, right out here. Feet out, a little wider than shoulder width apart, butt back. And roll the hips, come on up. A couple more times. Just down. Start to stretch out those muscles in the back chain. Knees going over the laces of the shoes, but not past the toes. Down, roll the hips, come on up. Arms back, bring the shoulder blades together. Let's get the chest. Shoulders warmed up or stretched out just a little bit. Same thing down in that squat. Roll the hips underneath. So take the hips, whoa, too far back. Roll them underneath and push right straight up. Shoulder blades back. Do it again. This time we're going to go overhead with the arms. So as we come up, bring the arms up, reach through, and come back down. Only go up as high as is comfortable for you right this moment. Let them warm up. Give them a chance to stretch out a little bit. Get that joint moving. One more time. Down and up. Overhead. Arms down. Reach forward. Just reach out, stretching out the upper back. Take the shoulders. Just roll them out. And then arms back, palms down. Just roll the shoulder blades back together. Again, opening the chest. Back out. Stretch it out. And bring it back in again. Shake that out. Skaters. Back around. Around. Bring the foot. Tap the toe. Make sure that you've got the hips staying forward. Rotating the leg in the hip socket. I know what we're doing. I know why. Shoulders back, shoulders forward. So we go. I did that wrong. Shoulders forward, shoulders back at the same time. Keep the arms about chest level. Switch which arm is on top as you go. See if you can get that foot back just a little bit farther each time. Back and around. And you're there. Coming down to that squat again. Arms behind. Stretch out as far as you can. Up overhead and reach. Shoulder blades are back. Little arm circles as you come down. Roll the shoulders and back up again. So it's a swing. It's butt forward, arms up, shoulder blades back. Bring it back down. Little shoulder rolls while you're down there. And again, roll the hips, bring the arms up overhead. Stretch the chest, stretch the shoulders, and bring the arms down. Feet wide. We're going to go down in a wide squat. Reach across and over. Down and across. Hips stay forward. Don't rotate. The hips, torso can go. Make sure the knees, toes stay forward. Feet planted firmly on the floor. And rotate both shoulders. Make sure that shoulder girdle is going in a straight line. All the way and down. A little deeper. Up. Down and over. Feet apart, a little wider than shoulder width apart. Into a hip hinge. Feet out, butt back, hands on the thighs. Roll the shoulder blades back. Make sure you've got the form on this hip hinge that you want those shoulder blades back, pushing down into the thighs with the hands so you can roll the shoulders back, keeping you upright as you come down. And back up again. Knees stay over the ankles. Remember how that felt? Keep it there. Shoulder blades back, chest out, arms down. As you come up, bring the arms up overhead. Roll the shoulder blades back. And again, down, 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 down. See if you can get a little deeper. Knees over the ankles. Butt is going back. Stretching out the hamstrings. Bring it up over the top. And down on the side. Doing that side lunge. Shoulders come right straight to the floor. As you come up, we're going to go down on the other side. But this time, bring the arm over, going into a side stretch. Reach out. Bring it back down, coming up to the middle. We're going to go to the other side. Same thing. Reach out. Don't rotate as you do this. Coming right up over the top. Arm over the ear. Back to the other side. Over. Overreach. Overreach. Stretch. And back down. Last one. Bring it in. And bring it down. We're going down this time. Bringing the arm down into that windmill. Pointing right toward the floor. Not touching the toe. And back up. All you're doing here is butt goes back. Shoulders rotate. And you go right straight down. And back up. How far down you can get is really up to your body. It's going to tell you where you can go. And as my wife does, she tells me where to go all the time. Down to the other side, roll the shoulders. And up. Oh, good clunk in the back. I needed that, I think. Down and up. Plie. Feet out. Knees stay over the ankles. Butt goes right straight back again. Push it out. And then bring it back in. Note, knees, toes, same direction. Don't let the knees stay in while the toes go out. A lot of times you get this collapsing of the knees, which puts all sorts of stress on the outside of that knee. And push right back up again. Knee and toe, same direction. Knee right over the top. Arms up. We're going to do another sweep up. Side bend. Bring it over. Stretch out the ribs. Feel it's going all the way down into the hip and all the way up through the arm. Back to the top. Down in that plie. Let's go on the other side. Balance things out here. Up over the top. Come on down. You are the next contestant. And bring it back up again. Step it back like that. And up. Reach back. Ball of the foot. Coming up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Yes. And back. Way too confusing for me. Back. Because it's still 9:30 in my life. Actually, it's 8:30 here compared if it was still. No, we fell behind. Never mind. Let's just keep going. Forget I said anything. Back and up. Back and up. We're going to do as you come back, bring the arms up. Roll the shoulder blades back. Hip hinge. Roll back. So you're extending that chest, shoulders, weight shift into the back leg. Bring it forward. Other side, same thing. Step back. Weight shift. Get it back there. Feel the stretch in the back, or in the chest, I mean, and bring it back down. I'm just going to quit talking. Butt kickers right here. Heel up to the butt. And shoulder blades back. Squeeze them together. I'm going to stay away from anything that doesn't have to do with the exercises. This is it. Bring it in, and I won't talk about anything else. Bring those shoulder blades back. Stretch out the chest. Warm up those muscles between the shoulder blades. Get the quadriceps stretched out. Hamstrings, back of the thigh does the work to lift that leg up and up. All right. Arms up overhead. Knee up. Squeeze it all together. Push it back out. Start finding your balance on that single leg. Up. Hold it. And back up. Again. Squeeze it all together. Tighten up that core. Bring the shoulders down just a little bit. Tightening up the upper abs. Knee comes up. Getting those lower abs. And push back up. Warming up those ab muscles without having to go on the floor. Push up. Bring it down, and arms down. Okay, arms up to the side, leg up, out, and tap, up, in, and back. How high you bring that leg is up to you. You can get an inch off the floor. Just try to be on that single leg, roll it around to the side, and back up. What we're trying to get is that rotation through the hip joint. Hips stay forward. Leg moves out and back in. Other side. Around and down. Take it back up. And couple more. We're getting there though. Into a squat, up, raise the leg, or tap the toe if you need to. I needed to. Opposite side, up, straight up, lifting that leg out to the side or tapping the toe without leaning the opposite direction. Down and up, down. There was a game where part of it was, as a kid there, guy holding a bar. I said I wasn't going to talk about anything else. Just remember the commercials. I never had it. Around, squat, step, squat, reach. Down to that squat, stay there, 4 steps sideways. 2, 3, 4. Bring it up. Back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arms involved. Bring it up, back down. 1, 2, toes forward. Off the heel first, then the ball of the foot. Toes straight forward, step out. Bring that second leg, that trailer leg up and in, back up. Take it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And bring it up. Step jack. Out to the side and in. Other side out and bring it in. Up and bring it back down. Like that and bring it back. A couple more times. Arms up, sweeping over the top. Bring it back in. Other side out. Over the top and bring it back up. Arms behind the head. Hands behind the head. Arms out. Elbows right straight out to the sides. Feet apart. Knees forward. We're going to go into a hip hinge here. So keeping the shoulder blades back keeps the chest open. We're going to push the butt right straight back. So I found this really helps maintain the form. Biggest piece when you come up now, making sure that you're not pushing down on the chin or pushing down the back of the head, bringing the chin to the chest, and the knees stay over the ankles, pushing down through the heels and bringing the legs up, down and up. Stay there. We're going to bring the knee up and rotate the shoulders in and around, elbow around, and bring it back up. Rotate. It's not about touching. Don't get all contracted here through the core. Knee up, arms around. That's it. Up and around. Otherwise, you're going to hurt the back. Rotation and bending at the same time. Just not a good idea. Up and around. Now, up and out in a side bend. The wacky jack and squeeze. Up. So again, just take it out to the side. Do that rotation and then bring the knee up and go down. Make sure you're just bending sideways though. Doesn't matter how far out the knee comes. You're not going to reach for it. Upper body's coming down on the side. Up and out. Squeeze, bring it down. And in, up, out. And in one more time. And back. All right. We're going to take the arms. Bring them right up here like you're gonna punch somebody. And then we're going to do a down to squat. 1, 2, 3, and 4's up overhead. And then back down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tight on the bottom. Ready? 1, coming up a little bit. 2, 3, up overhead. Stretch it out. Back down. 2. Don't turn the hips. You only want the torso doing the rotation. So looking out to the side, feet are flat on the floor. 2, the other way diagonally. 3, straight ahead up over the top. Back down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring it up. Last one. We have 1 minute left. We have time for one more. Up and out. Kick. And extension. If you want, step back and out. Step back and out. Once you've got that kick down, here's what we're going to do. Step back and kick out. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are high knees 4 times. And then kick outs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's high knee, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to kickouts. And out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and kick, 2. We're like Rockettes here, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you go as fast as you want on this one. It's up to you. 1, 2, 3. If you want to go into a run, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or just take your time with it. And just getting the heart rate up here a little bit. And last one's kick. 2, 3, 4. That's it. I need water. You need water. We need weights. I need weights. You need weights. I scream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. 2 weights. Two weights. The last one kind of tired me out, which is supposed to not tire you out, but warm up the body, get the heart rate up a little bit. Get breathing just a little bit heavier. All right, first thing we're going to do. Just watch first. Take a break. I would if I could. Okay, arms forward, elbows at 90 degrees. Out to the side, into a side raise. Coming back in. Remember, this is an arc out to the side. Bring them back in. We're going to push up, working the muscles. So it's not really pushing. It's these muscles contracting in the front of the shoulders that lift that arm up. And back down again. So we're doing a side raise and a front raise, just a little different than we normally do it. So it's out. We're going to start in 10 seconds. I'll go one more time. Up in front and back down. All right. Little bend in the knees. Make sure the shoulder blades stay back. Stay in neutral. Up on the sides. Back down. In the front. And back. Multiple directions here. Out to the side, working that deltoid on the outside of the shoulder and the deltoid in the front and down. Out. This is a good one. You should be feeling this in the shoulders. Kind of fatiguing, making sure the shoulders are under tension the entire time. And in, up, and back down. 15 seconds left. Up, and in, forward, out. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more set. It's going to go out, in, forward, and back down. Shake the arms out a little bit. Next one. Going to do a curl. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Elbows next to the torso, making sure they don't go forward. Curl up. Rotate. Shoulders out. Palms forward. Overhead. Down, in, and down. Now, if that does not work for you, palms in, shoulder blades back, we go to a hammer grip, neutral grip, a lot less stress on the shoulder, and back down, whichever one works. This one gets a few more muscles when you do the biceps curl, palms forward, as opposed to palms in, but your shoulder dictates that. You just need to get some strength in there. Only go up as high as is right for you, even if it's not all the way up, a little bit. All right, you ready? Feet shoulder width apart. Little bend in the knees, up, rotate out, overhead. So we're doing an Arnold press in here and down. Gets the shoulders, gets the chest, gets the upper back with that rotation. Down. As you bring the elbows in, that is the chest working. Contracting to bring the elbows in and down. Up when the elbows go out, using the upper back, squeezing the shoulder blades together into your posture move. 15 seconds left. In and down. One more set. Bring it up. Rotate it around. Push up. Down. In. And we're there. Let's go to the lower body. That was enough upper body for right now. Weights right here, right by the chest. Keep them tight in here. We're going to go into a goblet squat. So wide set, feet out wider than shoulder width apart. Want to make sure on this one that you're doing a squat, but keeping the legs, knees forward right over the toes. Toes pointed forward, hips, knees. Knees come forward over the laces of the shoes, not past the toes. Shoulder blades stay back and push up. So what you'll notice, pushing against the weights, against each other, drive the shoulder blades back so that you keep that chest out, down, stretch through the hamstrings, roll the hips, and push right straight up. Keeping the feet flat on the floor, you're going to feel the inner thighs work on this one with those feet wider apart. All right, here we go. Shoulder blades back, chest is out, coming down, knees over the laces, roll and push right straight up, feet into the floor, coming up, squeezing the glutes at the top. So you feel this inner thighs going up the thigh, going up into those glute muscles, in the butt, up, squeeze it, booty, in the booty, down, roll the hips, push up. Weights here at the chest are just a little added bonus, a little more fun. Down, roll. It's also to keep your chest back. Force those muscles in the upper back. Squeeze them together. Scapular retraction. And push up one more time. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Back down. Hold. And bring this up. All right. We're going to go into a stagger step. Going back, staying with the lower body. As we always do, knee over the ankle on the front, leg back. So you got that hip hinge, or that split squat where you come down, you roll the hip and come right up. Front knee stays over the ankle the entire time. All the work is done by the rear chain. The other way you can do this is as a lunge. So you're here. As you come up, that front knee, push through the heel, it straightens out, not to a full lock. But then going down, coming right down, just like that split squat. But again, pushing up through the heel of that front leg to bring you up. You're still going to feel the muscles working in the back chain of the other one. But now we're going to engage this front leg at the same time. Push up. So when you're getting up from a position on the floor, this is really what you should be doing, using the front and back leg together to get you up. Share the load with all the big muscles in the body. And up. Pushing through that front leg. We started. We did 5 seconds ago. Roll and push. Knee comes up just a little bit. Back out. Stops as it's going over that ankle. Push through the heel and come back up. So we're trying to avoid is this, going forward and leaning over the front. You want to just push right up through the heel here. So you're using the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. Back down. Roll it. And up. Feel the difference when you're using both legs. You're still rolling that hip underneath. You're still lifting that leg behind and lifting the knee or the heel up, but you're also using the front leg here. One last time. Down and push up. So you should feel it in this whole back chain as well as the quadriceps on that front leg and still feeling that back chain on the back one. All right, here we go. So we're sharing the load. Sharing is caring. Down, feet are parallel. Roll the hips, push up, both legs, and back down. So again, if you're lifting something, this is a great way to get even more strength into it so you can lift without having to use the back at all. Down, and both legs up. Straighten it out. Take it back down. Roll and push up. Roll that hip underneath. Lift the heel on the back leg. Push through the heel of the front leg. Maintaining your balance, as I'm having a really hard time doing. 2 more times. Down and up. Last one. Take it down. And bring it up. All right. Next, lawnmower. Single weight. I want to really concentrate on the form of the motion here. So going into that stagger step we were just in, feet parallel. Remember, you can adjust your balance, your stability by bringing that leg out wider. The closer you bring it in, the more you're using the core. closer you can get it in, the more challenge it is. If you can engage these core muscles, bringing that leg in, do it. Until that point where you're spending all your time balancing. Once you do that, you've really lost everything. So just get that foot out a little wider again. Little by little, that's going to come in closer every time that you do this. As the muscles get stronger in the legs and in the core, you're going to be able to bring that foot in just a little bit. All right, enough of that. We are starting out with lawnmower, arm out front, hand on the thigh of that opposite leg so that you don't rotate. Shoulders stay straight as you bring that elbow up. Squeeze the shoulder blade together. Not together. Squeeze the shoulder blade around toward the spine and then release. Triceps, kick back, up front, and out. So again, up in that lawnmower, bring it up, roll the shoulder blade back, and then elbow back into a triceps kickback. So don't do the triceps kickback while the elbow is back around the back and then try to go out. Elbow comes up and around, bring it back to center, and then out. In and out. In that stagger step, up, shoulder blade around, squeezing those muscles next to the shoulder blade, elbow back, extend at the elbow, in, and back out. Two more. Up, squeeze the shoulder blade, straighten it out, and get those triceps. Feel those muscles working in the back of the upper arms. One more time. Up and around. Posture muscle right there. Elbow back, extend, in, and out. Other side. So with the other exercises we're doing, I'm feeling this the entire upper arm. Biceps are working here, triceps, shoulders, the whole shot, the whole kit and caboodle. Whole 9 yards. All right. Out. Here we go. Back. Shoulder comes around, not the torso. Straighten it out, elbow back, extending at the elbow. In and back out. Up, rotate, feel those muscles working in the upper back. And then back to center, out. Don't lock the elbow when you go back, please. Don't do that. For your sake, for your elbow's sake, roll the shoulder blade back. You don't want to go to a full lock on this. You go back, you squeeze those muscles, squeeze on the weight if you have to. And back out. The other thing to try to prevent against, and I saw this in a video this weekend when I was watching some, don't let the weight come up and back. You start using that weight as leverage to bring it up, and you don't have to use the muscles in the back of the arm as much. So you want to keep that wrist solid the whole way up and around. Plus, you put a lot of stress on that wrist joint when you start flipping it around with that weight in it. And out one more time. Up, shoulder blade back, to the middle, extend, in, and down. Shake that out. Back to 2 weights. We're not doing weights on the floor, so we have to hit those chest muscles. Required. Hands up right here. We're going to step forward. This is just for balance, for stability. Stepping forward, we're going to do a cross punch out and bring it back in. Things that are most important on this one. The most important is don't let your torso go out with it. Only take the arm out as far as you can go, that you can hold yourself right here. You get weight far away from the body. You lean into it. That's the lower back that's doing all the work, especially as you come back in from that. As you're trying to pull yourself back in, you don't want to use that lower back. All right, here we go. Stepping out, opposite arm, opposite leg, and reach, push, and back in, other side. Out, and back in using the shoulders. Forearms are getting a great workout here as well. Out. You have stability because you have that foot underneath. You got weight going out, but you also have that foot underneath there so that as that weight goes out, you have something underneath supporting it and bring it back. Out and back in. Step out, push out, bring it back in. So if you want to start putting a little twist in the torso, torso only, not the hips. You can reach across just a little bit farther. Out and back. Last one. Out and back. Two more. That's it. Starting with feet apart. We're going to go down into a squat, butt right straight back, knees forward. Basic weighted squat. Coming up, bring the heels up, going into a calf raise, heel raise, and then back down again. So we're working the glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps as we come up, and then the calf muscles, back of the lower leg, lifting those heels up, working the ankles as well to keep that foot flat on the floor. You ready? If you already started, fantastic. If not, you should get going now. Back down. See if you can get just a little bit deeper. Stop at the bottom. Full stop. And then up and back down. If that heel up is too much for you, one heel at a time. Bring it up. Squeeze those muscles in the back of the lower leg. As you do it, make sure you feel them. But if otherwise, come up on both. Work those ankles if you can. Down. Heels don't have to come up that high. Just get them up off the floor. And back down. But get them as high as you can. Up. Again, challenge yourself with that balance on the ball of the foot. Down. Roll the hips. Come up. One more time. Down. And up. Last one. We're going to go on the side. So wide. Hip hinge. Down. Butt back. And bring it up. Other side. Shoulder square to the floor. Butt right straight back. Knee over the ankle. Pushing through the heel. Back comes right straight up. Bringing the hips in that thrust. With this, palms facing in. Shoulder blades are back. As you come to the middle, bring the arms up. Roll the shoulder blades back. Again, we're getting those muscles between the shoulders. Getting our posture muscles. We're also working the muscles on the tops of the arms. Those upper traps. Up. Squeeze it together on top. Only come up as high as is comfortable for you. As always, you come up, and if this is where it's at, that's fine. But make sure you're still squeezing the shoulder blades together as you come up, and then go back down. You feel this all the way around the base of the neck and going on the tops of the shoulders, going to the shoulder joint and back down. Knees don't go any, or the weights don't go any lower than the knees. That's where the butt goes out farther. Bring it up. So as you come down, weight hits the knee, butt goes back. So you get that stretch and drive through the heel. Coming back up. Two more. Down and up. Shoulder blades back. One more time. Last one. Down and push. Up. We did it. All the muscles, upper and lower body, we hit them all. All right, grab your mat. We're going down early. I guess this floor program is so great. It is going to be so much fun. So, as you're making your transition, if you have a step, not this week, but if you have a step, bring it. If you don't have a step, perfectly okay. You can do the same thing with anything that raises you up. Books, big book, up and back down. Don't use two, they slide. Just one, up and back down. If you've got a laptop that you do this from, you can go to the stairs and do it as well. We're going to practice going upstairs. Somebody had asked about that, the proper form for going upstairs. And there's a whole lot to climbing stairs and coming back down again. So I want to make sure that we get each one of those steps. It's going to take a little longer, but make sure we hit those. But that will be next week. I'm preparing you. I'm warning you. And if you don't have anything like that, if you don't have anything that you can step up on, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can still do the up and bring it back down. That muscle control is still super important when you're doing your steps. That you need to be able to lightly put the foot down on each step instead of just plopping it down. On the floor, on your butt, not on the back yet. Not yet. Let's get ourselves down to the floor first. So feet up in that crook position. Hands right here on the just below the knees. We're going to roll down. So feet in as far as you can get them. We're going to take the back like a curl up. Chin comes down to the chest on this one. And then hanging onto the legs, maybe the back of the thighs. Drop yourself down nice and slow until you're down. Like that. That was fun. We're not getting back up again. We're just going to do that. All right. Lower back on the floor. Hands up to the ceiling. Roll. Tighten up those lower abs. Lengthening out the spine. Rolling the pelvis forward. And up. Feeling the lower back on the floor or whatever you've got underneath your back. Whatever you've got, whether it be a towel, pillow, rolling the mat up. Get something under your back so that when you squeeze those lower abs, the back goes down and touches something to help stabilize it when we do all the exercises on our backs. All right, and then extend the legs out as much as you can. You'll notice as you take the legs out, step them out, you'll feel the lower back come up off the floor. You'll get more arc away from the floor. So that makes those lower abs work harder to bring that pelvis forward to get that lower back down. Squeeze and back down. So really the most important thing is it's important to roll those hips, to squeeze those lower abs and roll it forward. But make sure that something's under your back to be stable so that you don't walk away from this hurt or you can't walk away from it. Don't do that. And back. All right. Upper abs get involved. Shoulders come up. Exhale. Remember, whenever we do any of the contractions, it's always squeeze the core tight. Deep, a lot of breath out. Deep exhale. I don't know how to say that. Full exhale. Get all the air out of the lungs. And you do that by squeezing those core muscles. Tightening them up. Hold. And back down. Here again, how high your shoulders come up, really. They may not even come off the floor. It's really up to your core muscles and how tight they are. You may just get a little less pressure on the shoulders. They may still be on the floor. That's great. That is not a problem. And back down. As those muscles get stronger, and this is what you want to do. You want to feel it from the belly button up to the rib cage. You just want to feel those muscles tighten up. And then when you exhale, you can really feel everything engage and then come back down. So it's as high as you can get, whatever that is. If you're having problems with the neck, if the neck is hurting, hands can come behind the head, cupping the head, not pushing the chin down. And that's your cue here is don't let the chin come any closer to the chest. Just cradle. And back down. One more time up. Squeeze it. And back down. We're still in the warm-up period here for the core. Feet back up. Excuse me. Knees toward the ceiling. Into that crook position. Just a nice easy march. Knee comes up. Tuck it. You're going to bring that tailbone up off the floor just a little bit and back down. Not the lower back. You're actually extending the lower back, getting it even tighter to the ground as you bring that knee up. And then back down nice and slow. As you drop that foot down, do it slowly and keep the lower back on the floor. Really be conscious of it. Just close your eyes, picture the lower back on the floor, and just keep it there by squeezing the ab muscles as you bring it back down. Up. Get a little tuck in there. Feel those muscles working in the front of the hip. Drop the leg back down. And other side up. Squeeze it all together. And back down again. If it's right for you, we're going to use both legs. Up. Squeeze it. And back down. Lower back on the floor. Heels as close to the butt as you can get them to take the most pressure off. Step the legs out a little bit. So the other way you can do this is hands under the butt. But I would rather have you bring the heels in toward the butt and just make the core do all the work on this one instead of getting the hands underneath and being able to use the upper body too. Make the muscles that are supposed to do this do the work. You can make your modifications by getting those heels in closer to the butt. And then as you do this, you're going to get stronger. You can start walking those heels out just a little bit more each time. Or not each time, but You try it a little more, see if you can still do it. Out and back down. And if that back is coming way up off the floor, get the heels in just a little bit more. In and back down. Combo move. It's called a suitcase crunch. Arms up, knees up at the same time. Squeeze it together and back down. So upper abs are lifting the shoulders. Lower abs are lifting the hip. And back down. So instead of just lifting the legs up off the floor and leaving the tailbone on the floor, squeezing those muscles just a little bit harder with that exhale. When you bring that tailbone up off the floor, that's actually a reverse crunch. You're using those lower abs a whole lot to bring that hip up off the floor when you bring the tailbone up off the floor. Yeah, we're trying to give you our cues to look for when you do it. So for this one, like I said, it's shoulders up, a little less pressure on the shoulders. Squeeze those lower abs. When you feel that tailbone come up off the floor, you've actually raised the hips up, and that's all lower ab going into that. And then back down, you want to feel that lower back on the floor, all the way down. Whew, I'm feeling this. Okay, 2 more. Up and back down. Last one. Feet up, knees up, squeeze those abs, exhale, and back down again. I'm going to give the lower body a rest here for a second. Grab onto the back of the thighs. And to start out with, one leg up at a time, keeping the knees at 90 through this whole thing so that you're working those quadriceps to hold the knee at 90, keeping them under tension the entire time. Lift the leg, extending at the knee. You go as high as you go. That's all there is. Making sure the lower back does not twist. You're flat on the ground. This actually helps using the hands behind the thighs to keep that lower back flat on the floor. And that's one of the other things you always want to be conscious of whenever you're doing core exercises is that lower back being on the floor. Or you're doing lying on your back exercises. Up and back down. Here we go. If you can, release one hand. Up and back down. Then release the other arm. Left hand, left leg goes up and back in. And then what you're looking for is just, can you take both hands away, keeping the knees over the ankle or knees over the hips. Knees stay at 90, extend out. If you can't, hands behind the thighs. Hold them there. But use less pressure. Try to just one arm at a time and only have to work on one set of muscles, one leg, one side to do the work instead of both. So again, just a modification that'll take you to where you want to get, which is both legs up and back down. Drop those down. All right. Arms up over the shoulders. Knee comes into that tuck. Extend at the knee and up. So we're putting that suitcase crunch together with the knee extension. Leg comes up. You got that tuck. Lower back's on the floor. Tailbone's up off the floor just a little bit. Shoulders right straight up. You're not reaching for the foot. You're still reaching for the ceiling. Up. And back down. Up. Tuck that knee. Extend at the knee. Reach with the arms up. And back down. So after you reach for the ceiling, you can get down at a diagonal a little bit, but make sure that you're still looking up at the ceiling as you do this. You want to be looking over the arms. You don't want the chin to come down to the chest. You should not be looking at that foot. Up. And back down. All right, we're going to do a different way. Hands apart. Hands apart. We're going to go right leg, left arm, extend, reach with just that one side, rolling the shoulders, not the lower back. So as you come up, it is shoulder comes up off the floor on one side, obliques doing the work to pull you across, and then back. So it's knee up, extend, squeeze the core muscles, tighten up, and then bring it down. So you're doing shoulder rotation here, up, to get that arm going that direction, But what you're looking for are these muscles on the outside of the core doing the work to rotate you, and then bring it back down, up. So this is one of those, if you want, you can take both legs up in that tabletop and just extend at the knees, squeeze, and back down. Lower back does not twist. That's what you really have to be conscious of. Think of that lower back. Make sure that the weight is distributed left to right and it doesn't shift. And back down. Otherwise, it's tuck and back down. Arms at the sides. Okay, extend both legs out. We're going to do just a really small leg raise. So just bring that leg up off the floor that many inches and back down. Other side up. Arms out to the side so that you've got that T. You get those arms holding you so that your torso doesn't twist. You don't have to bring that leg up very high. The other thing, don't lock the knee out. You want to have that little bend in the knee. So you're going to hit the heel first and back down. Other side up and back down. Here's where we can have fun with this one. So we can work the outside of the hip at the same time, plus working all the core muscles. You're going to lift one leg up and just bring it out to the side. 6 inches out. Keep the toe pointed toward the ceiling and feel the muscles working on the outside of the hip and outside of the glutes, outside of the buttocks. Up, out, in, and down. I don't know which angle is best. Up. Staying on that same side, toe pointing to the ceiling. The minute you feel these muscles working on the outside, stop. Because what you don't want to do is twist the body, that lower body. You want to get those muscles in the hips and in the glutes. So this prevents us from having to go on our sides and do that side leg lift. We can stay in the back, lots of support for the core. Up, out, using those arms to help you so that you don't twist. And back down, alternating legs, other side up, out, in, and down. All right, bring the legs up, knees bent, back into a crooked position. We're going to bring the foot up, leaving the knee at 90, leg out to the outside, leg in, and down. So knee up, knee right over the ankle. We're going to drop it out to the side, right down on the side, back in and down. Don't go too far. We're working those inner thighs, but I don't want you to hurt those groin muscles. So it's up, out, back in nice and slow. Make sure that other leg, the knee, stays right above the hip. Don't let it roll out to the other side, counterbalancing. It's out. Use the core muscles. Use the arms to the side. In and back down. Up, out, in, and down. Combo. We're going to bring that knee up. Extend at the knee. So leg out, right side, coming in the starting in the crook position. Knee at 90, bring the knee up over the hip, and then extend that right leg out as far as you can get it. Go to the outside. So doing that lateral swing, swinging the leg out to the side, bring it back into a tuck, and back down. Other side, up, crunch, out, to the side, in, and back down. So a couple more times. First thing we're getting is a tuck with a little reverse crunch. Don't push through that opposite leg. Don't push through the heel to make it happen. Lift with this leg. Squeeze the core muscles. Bring it in. Feel those muscles in the front of the hip contract. And then out. It's a heel glide right above the floor. And out as far as you can get. And then out to the side. Toe towards the ceiling. That abduction. Bring it back in. Again, heel just over the floor on that heel slide. Bring it in for a tuck. And back down again. One more time on the other side. Knee up in the tuck. Squeeze the core. Exhale. Get that lower back up off the floor, or that tailbone up off the floor, and then holding that, extend the left leg out to the side, feel the muscles working on the outside of the hip, bring it back in, tuck, and back down. Again. Feet together. So the sides of the feet, here's where we go next. Last one. Sides of the feet together. Get the butt or the heels up to the butt. We're going to do a lift and drop. So we're bringing up both legs, but those heels are in. This shouldn't be too bad for you. If it is, put the hands under the butt on this one to lift. If you're feeling any pressure in the lower back at all. And if that's with the heels all the way to the butt. So it's up. You can feel the outside of the hips working just a little bit more on this one. Keeping those knees out as you lift, creating more work through the lower half of the hips. Up, squeeze. Again, small move. You don't come up very high on this one. And this is the one where as you go, you can start adjusting this by how far out those feet are from the butt. Up, squeeze, and back down. But before you start extending the legs, make sure you can do it without the hands underneath the hips, with the knees or with the heels right into the butt. And then you can start walking out. And back down. Keep the feet like they are. Upper body, we're going to go into a crunch. So if you want, cradle the head, arms up over the shoulders, wherever you want them. Just don't push on the back of the head. If you're cradling the head, don't push on it. And just squeeze the core, bring it up. And back down, shoulders off the floor as much as you can. Exhale. And back down, bring that lower body into it again. Heels right up by the butt. And back down. So more work is happening in the lower abs this way. It's just an advance from what we've done before. If this doesn't work, go back to the suitcase crunch with the feet flat on the floor. Bring the knees up, torso up at the same time. And if that doesn't work, the next modification is just one leg at a time. Up and back down. So let's go through that progression one more time. So the first progression, or the first part of this, is just one leg at a time, shoulders up toward the ceiling, hip comes up, tailbone off the floor and down. Other side. And back down. Next advance from that is both feet off the floor, squeeze it, and back down nice and slow. One more time up. Legs parallel, you got a straight line from the foot all the way to the shoulder. And then from there, feet side by side, knees out, doing that clamshell or that butterfly, and then coming up, squeezing it, and back down. So anytime we do a suitcase crunch where we bring the lower body and upper body off at the same time, do the one of those that's right for you. Don't go past what you can do, but challenge yourself. Let's go to seated. We didn't even get to the prone stuff. Quadruped. We will. It's coming. Hands behind the back, shoulder blades back. So that was what I was excited about, is to take that one exercise and just go through the progressions of what you can do, especially that lower body, because lower body, we have the tendency to get that hip to roll up pretty high, or that lower back. And the minute we do that, we're putting all sorts of stress on the lower back. Arm on the outside of the thigh, roll the shoulders, take it around. Chin up, shoulder blades back one more time. Back to center. Other side. Arm out, shoulders back. Chin up. Looking at the horizon, following the chest around, giving the neck just a little bit more of a turn. A little bit more. If you can. If you can. And bring it back to center. Up we go. Wild blue yonder and all. Coming onto all four. Bringing one leg up. Pushing through the front leg to start it, and then get the back leg involved on the way up to bring you up. Just like that. Mat out of the way. See, that worked out pretty well when I stopped talking about other things besides the exercises. All right, feet out wide. We're going to take hip hinge first. Stretch out the lower back. Stretch out the hamstrings. Right straight down, knees over the ankle. This is about how far back you can get the butt, really. And not lengthening out the knees. Keeping the knees exactly where they are. They never move. It's sitting back into this where you're going to feel the stretch come up the back chain. And push up. Arms to the floor. We're going to go down, curving the back. Swan dive. Down. Chin stays up. Don't let the chin go below the heart. Don't let the head go below the heart. Reach back as far as you can. Underneath. Stretch out that entire back. Roll the shoulders toward the floor. Underneath. So first thing you're going to do is drop down on this one, rolling the hip forward. You're going to go into a squat. So you can push through the legs to bring you up instead of using the lower back to bring you up, flipping that head back. Hips come underneath. You're staying in a straight line there. Hips come underneath, and then you're pushing up underneath so that you don't get that strain in the lower back. Stagger step, toe up, shoulder blades back, coming down in a hip hinge, right toward that toe, looking right down at it, shoulder blades back. So I don't like the bending down to try to get there. We have this tendency when we bend to try to turn and reach with the opposite arm, and that is just not going to work for the back. Keep the back in neutral. Shoulder blades are back, looking for those muscles in the lower half of the leg. I think you have a lot more control this way because you can adjust through the hips, pushing them in, dropping them out, how much pressure you've got or how much stretch you've got in the back of that leg. And relax the toe. Foot flat on the floor. Still got that bend in the knee. Hands on that thigh. So you keep the shoulder blades back and then roll into it. Stretch is hamstring, glutes. Back of the thigh, up into the booty. And push through that front leg, drive the hips in, and come up. Other side, same thing. Stagger step, toe up, little bend in the knee, shoulder blades back, chest out. So I was feeling it in the hamstrings. I had to release a little bit. So I bent the knee just a little bit more so I wasn't hitting the hamstrings. I needed to get down to those calf muscles, lower half of the leg. Again, there's just tons of ways you can adjust this. Okay, there's only a couple. There's a couple ways that you can adjust this, but there's more. You have much more flexibility. Toe up a little bit more, knee bent in or out, shoulder blades back just a little bit more. All of those play into it. Foot flat on the floor and drop that knee down just a little bit as you bring the arms or the torso down. Shoulder blades back, chest up. This doesn't feel like much. If you bring those shoulder blades back, you're going to feel those muscles engage all of a sudden without having to go down deeper. And hips forward, push it up without using the back. Good job. We're going to take out, step out to the side, step jack, arms up over the top, roll the shoulders over, and bring it back in, other side, out, and back in, step out. We're going to go into a side lunge, sorry. I want to stretch out that inner thigh because we did use it quite a bit. Push the butt back. Feel the muscles stretching from above the knee up into the groin muscles. Want to feel it mainly right here through the middle of that inner thigh as you come down. So bring it down. Knee stays over the ankle on that lead leg. Foot stays flat on the floor. Really important that that trailer leg, you've got the foot flat on the floor. Roll the hips, push through the heel, come on back up to the top. Down we go into a squat, arms up overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, coming down into a side bend. Great stretch for the upper back, rib cage, arm, shoulder. Use that top hand to bring you back up. Back down again. Arms up, sweep them up the side, over the top. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, coming down on the other side. Use that top hand, bring you back up again. All right, one more time. Down, reach as far as you can across. Roll the hips, push up through the heels. Deep breath in through the nose. Stomach out. Exhale, bring the arms down. Whoa, that one got me. Pushing that stomach out. Got a little dizzy there. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you again this week or next.